So let's get started. You'll see I've sketched out a few basic gems up here at the top just to have for reference as we talk about these. This is a pretty, I think it's considered kind of an emerald cut, maybe a little curved at the top. We won't worry about the names of them right now. What I wanted to do is put some here so we could look at the shapes, talking about how the bigger shape overall has little geometric shapes. These are all the different facets that create light and diversity on a gem. Let's see, if I can make this work. You can kind of see even on my just cut emerald here how there's a little bit, this is a pretty simple ring overall. There's really not a whole lot happening. It's really one main rectangle. Here, let's do a tall one. I'll make a big one for you. Don't worry about being too perfect when you're sketching and playing around. I want you to watch for a second and then you can try to sketch some on your own. So again, I'm going to look at this here. It basically, again, is just that one rectangle, and then on this it kind of goes down on the sides. So we angle our lines to show that. So this is really the gist of this ring, or this shape. This might be the easiest one and the best one to show as a demonstration of what I was getting at about the light and the different ways that light reflects on the different edges. So we will come back after we sketch out a few more and paint that. When you're sketching, these are just practice. We're gonna have a final product, a final project together that you have a handout for. It's a geode crystal. So for right now, before we get to this geode crystal, I just want to focus on exploring how the light hits different surfaces, reflects brightly, is more shadowed and dark in certain places. So that's what we're going to do here with this practice sheet. So let's do just maybe two more. Let's do kind of a redo of this one up here, but on a big scale, right? So it's a rectangle in the middle, kind of a skinny rectangle. And these were kind of just from my imagination, those little 3 gems at the top. So, and I may not do it exactly the same way that I did it up there, and that's okay. Remember, this is about having fun. This is about kind of letting go of needing it to be perfect. Yeah, look, I've already done not exactly what I wanted to do, but that's okay. I'm gonna bring this here, and so we just kind of build on to what I started with. I start with the center square rectangle and kind of build onto it, or you can start with the outer piece itself and then add lines inside of that. It's totally up to you. This one ended up being kind of short on this side. I don't love that. Let's see if I can make it a little bit longer. I'm just going to add on to it. Again, we're not going for perfection, just fun. So this end is a little bit different than that end, but I'm okay with it. Let's do this circular one here. I'm going to actually start for this one with the overall shape. My circles are never beautiful. If anybody out there has perfected the circle or the oval without making a bunch of little marks like this, you let me know, because I would love to watch your tutorial on that. Oh, do you hear my cat? Do you see my cat? That's great. Go away, Stella. Occasionally, I feel like this year you guys might get a little hello from her. She gets a little bit needy this time of day. Anyway, back to our circle gem. I think I'm going to let it have a little triangle up at the top and a matching triangle at the bottom when you are sketching your gems, it's not obviously the most important thing, just like this one doesn't show it, but symmetry is helpful. I think this middle gem is symmetrical enough, but again, it's going to be your own preference. Not necessary to be symmetrical, but to have similar shapes at least, I think is important for it to feel like a balanced drawing. So let's keep going here. I'm gonna do one here and here, and one to match at the top. And then I might do something here. It definitely needs a long line here and a long line here. I think that I actually want these edges to be a little bit harder. This top edge I want to be harder. Bottom edge I want to be harder, less circular, more kind of angled. Okay, so we've got some basic sketches. Most simple to a little more complex to this one is just a little bit maybe messy, but it's okay. We're just exploring right now and playing around with our gems, our crystals. So I want to invite you, if you have not been sketching along with me, totally fine. I'm glad that you were watching and hearing me think out loud. I think that's kind of how I teach, is explaining as I'm doing. But take some time and sketch out a few of your own, and pause this and meet me back here after you get a few sketched down so we can practice putting color onto the paper.